Good evening, family. It is Sunday, the 7th of April. We are just about to go into the new moon total solar eclipse. Very sensitive energy conjuncting Chiron. Join me. Show me your names on the screen. Let's get together. Let's share some love, some wisdom, some knowledge as we listen to Groundation and Naaman.
Oh, the rain is falling, don't give up. Gather up the raindrops to fill your cup. A rainbow did promise you. I knew you. That's what you're going to do. Bring out the new you. That is exactly what you got to do. Leave the past in the past and may the present always be for you until Jan calling you home again, where you will find some peace again. And Chiron.
Hello, family. It is good to see your names on the screen. Cheer up, cheer up, cheer up. The new you. You're about to give birth to the new you. Leave the past in the past and be in the present. And this is a very powerful energy, very powerful times we live in. And this is Naaman and Groundation welcoming us to this love stream with the song Raindrops. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful music. Beautiful song. Now change into Reynard board, the space between, a bit of ambient music in the background as we're going to talk about all this energy. It's good to be here with you again, family. I have missed you. It's been a while. Hello, Anna. Namaste. Shalom, Ima. Hello, Christy. Good evening. Hello, brother Robert. Love you, brother. Hello, Carrie. Hello, April. Keep on showing me your names on the screen. I love it. So thank you all for joining me tonight, and welcome to another love stream, a very special love stream for the new moon solar eclipse that is coming up on Tuesday early morning. But I would like to start by saying love and gratitude to the Patreon community for your membership, for your support of this work, of this service, and all the rest that we are doing every day. Those of you who are not with us on Patreon, first of all, you can all give me the free support by pressing like on this movie. We're getting much more likes lately, and that's awesome. It helps the algorithm spread this movie further out. And if you wanna press subscribe to our channel so you get notified whenever we're doing another love stream, share it with your friends, with your family, whoever wants to join us and benefit from this. And hello, Catherine. Shalom, Dana and Pete. Hello, Pete and Dana. And so yeah, let's start. Let me organize my windows here. There's a lot to share as always. I couldn't come at you earlier. 2 weeks ago, I got a bit of a cold, and the first week was very physical, and then the last week, which was more mental. I just had a bit of a foggy head, and I just couldn't get my cognitive kind of mind in a proper functioning to come at you in a love stream. So I had to hold myself back, just because I didn't feel that I was in the right space. That's why it took me a while to get back at you, but here I am for the eclipse. And as we look at the chart right now, as we speak right now, the moon is conjunct Neptune over the last 2 hours. So it's coming off it now. Moon is on 29 degree Pisces, the last final critical degree of Pisces, very sensitive, very spiritual as well. Conjunct Neptune, so you might have felt in the last hour or two some could be beautiful, very sensitive, very loving, compassion, unconditional love, spirituality, some good yummy kind of feelings maybe with your beloveds. On the other hand, you might feel the shadow aspect of it. We are in a dark moon phase now. The dark moon phase starts in the 2 days leading to the new moon. This is the time where the moon is dark. We can't see it in the sky because it's about to be born into a new light. And so in the dark moon phase, it's the most meditative time of the cycle, of the month, the time which we fully contemplate and bringing to the closure the lunar cycle that we have started in the previous new moon in Pisces on the 10th of March. So whatever we initiated on the 10th of March, 2 weeks later came the full moon to help the clearing and releasing of what we need to release, and the last full moon was the full moon eclipse in Libra. And so on this new moon solar eclipse, we are ending a very uncomfortable month of eclipse season. The eclipse season started from the new moon in Pisces, and the new moon in Pisces it's very auspicious, because in Pisces it's all about the releasing, the letting go, the ending of the journey, a place of great surrender and acceptance and compassion and love. And we started that, and then followed that 2 weeks later, a full moon eclipse in Libra, which is about kind of like ending old relationships, patterns from old relationships, things that you might play out within your current relationships from past relationships. Some relationships may have ended, all kind of things like that. Libra is also the place of justice and fairness, equality, harmony. And so you might have been playing with that a lot in the last couple of weeks, of like things that you used to consider just or equal are kind of like suddenly kind of maybe changing, or you find yourself in this place of clearing out your life in order to achieve more balance and harmony. And that walk was the clean out, and here we are in the dark moon phase, the final 2 days before the new moon eclipse, solar eclipse. And this is that really kind of sit with your month, like from now into Tuesday morning, the new moon solar eclipse. Sit with yourself and realize, what is it that you are ending, what is it you are closing. And it's not just on this lunar cycle perspective, it's the last 6 months of the eclipse cycle that is ended, and now we're initiating a new 6-month cycle that will take us to September eclipses. And on top of that, it's a new moon solar eclipse in Aries, the first star sign of the zodiac wheel. And so we started Aries season 2 weeks ago, when the sun entered Aries. But only now we have in the new moon in Aries, which gives the real stamp of like, okay, here we are, this is Aries. And not only we are starting this new moon in Aries with kind of like the real stamp, it happens to be with a total solar eclipse, which is an even more significant signature. And it happened to be with Chiron, which Chiron has been the star over the last, all this year. Since the beginning of the year, it's been ongoing Chiron. Everything was with Chiron. And now comes this crescendo of this new moon solar eclipse right on Chiron, not just on the same minute, but on the same astrological degree. And that is, you couldn't ask for a more precise conjunction that is very symbolic, very potent. And when we're dealing with Chiron, we are dealing with the healing crisis. We are dealing with the wounded healer. We are dealing with the teacher of wisdom. We are dealing with the sage that is teaching us self-mastery. It presents us the ability to achieve the key to unlock our healing process, but it comes as we are facing a wounding healing crisis. And so many people didn't have the greatest time lately. We're all feeling it on a collective level and individual level. Chiron is dealing in Aries with ourself, our ego, our wounded ego, our sense of wounded self. So in the last few weeks in particular, but even in the last few months, since the North Node was coming to Chiron, you might find yourself that you are in this kind of ongoing saga in your personal life, that you are constantly chewing and processing the most uncomfortable things within you. Your insecurities, your past hurts, your past traumas, all the times in your life that you were done wrong by, all the things that you've done wrong in your life, all the mistakes you've made, how you were imperfected in your choices, imperfected in your actions, imperfected in your thoughts or feelings. All your imperfections, all your glitches, all your scars, all your guilt, all your shame, all your wounding, all your pains, all your traumas. We've been all chewing that for the last few months, but especially the last few weeks. And that is not comfortable, that is never fun, but is the most ultimate rewarding, beneficial process to do, It's what we call in the New Age spirituality the shadow walk. You do the shadow walk. You go and you face your shadows. You acknowledge your shadows. You admit your shadows. You sit with your shadows. Not in order to become the shadow, but in order to understand the shadow that is reflected from your divine light. And ultimately, as we do more and more shadow work and we peel the layers and we go deeper and deeper, this is where we can achieve that healing. And so with Chiron involved, there's a healing crisis involved, but pay attention to the significance of the emphasis of that line. It's a healing crisis. It's not a crisis to wound you. It's a crisis that forces you and pushes you to heal another layer, to heal on a deeper level, to heal yourself, and it's not fun. So if you haven't been having a great time with yourself lately, you're doing it right. If you've been dealing and feeling and facing all kind of uncomfortable things inside of you in your past, you're doing it right. That's what you're supposed to do. And now comes this new moon solar eclipse. And what is this new moon solar eclipse? Rebel Heart Journeys, hello. Kylie in Adelaide, hello Kylie in Adelaide, awesome. Adelaide is having lots of fun. All the foodie game has been in Adelaide. There's a great festival there. So as we're looking at the chart, let's scan it. The first thing you can notice in the chart is that the chart is pretty much empty. Look at it. It's all empty, right? From 3 o'clock, take it anti-clockwise to 6 o'clock. It's empty. Everything is in Pisces, Aries, Taurus. It's amazing. It's so balsamic. It's so bombastic that it's all concentrated in this Pisces ending, Aries initiating, and Jupiter in Uranus in Taurus, which is about kind of expanding. And of course we have Pluto in Aquarius. So let's start with Pluto. 7 o'clock. Pluto 0 degree, 1 degree of Aquarius and 57 minutes is about to go to the 2nd degree for the first time in a very, very long time. 248 years. 2nd degree Aquarius, which is where it's going to stop and then retrograde back to Capricorn for 2 more months. So this year, September to November, we're going to have 2 final months of Pluto in Capricorn. And that's it. So now he's still progressing in Aquarius, and very soon, I think it's in May, Pluto is gonna go retrograde. Now let's go to 6 o'clock. Look at this bombastic thing. We've got Mars, 12 degrees, Pisces. Saturn, 14 degrees Pisces. I am sure that you are all feeling it, because what is this about? This is about Mars, the warrior masculine. Once he's the ruler of Aries. So it's kind of like, oh my God, Mercury, okay, I'm starting to tell you the story, but there's more to scan. Mars is saying, look at this Aries party. Mercury is in Aries, 25th degree. Chiron is in Aries, 19th degree. The Sun is in Aries, 18th degree. The North Node is in Aries, 15th degree. Venus is in Aries, shifted into Aries 2 days ago, Friday. Amazing shift. So much in Aries, they are in my home, and I'm here lost in Pisces. Not only I'm lost in Pisces, I'm also about to meet Saturn, the blocker. You're not going anywhere. So it's very interesting by itself that we have all this Aries energy. Again, Venus, North Node, Sun, Chiron, Mercury. All the personal planet except Mars. And it's the home of Mars. And everything is kind of like, we wanna go, let us go, let's initiate, let's start, let's activate, I have my desires, I have my wants, I have my needs, I wanna get out of this shit show, I wanna get out of these shit feelings, I wanna get out of this wounding, I wanna get out of this yucky situation, I can't stand this anymore, I've been dealing with this, and let me out of here. And Mars is kind of like in the ocean of Pisces, it's like swimming, it's like, I'm coming, but I'm in the middle of the ocean. And then he's coming to Saturn. And Saturn is kind of like, sorry, you're not going. Wait, patience. I need you to make sure that you get your shit together. This is in Pisces, spiritual integrity. This is kind of like, excuse me, you got a bit too loose lately. Mars in Pisces, we can be a bit loose. Mars is our discipline, our kind of action, our confidence, our boom, our kind of oomph, our masculines. In Pisces, it's kind of like, it's not strong in Pisces. Pisces is a place of like, everything is dissolving. Like, discipline is kind of like wishy-washy, and Saturn as well, discipline. Saturn is the ruler of discipline and responsibility and structure and integrity and maturity and growing up, and both of them in Pisces. So we might find ourselves in a situation where our discipline is a little bit lacking, we might find ourselves in a place that's kind of like we are a bit loose. We kind of like, we're swimming in a shit pond that we want to get out of, but we're not really doing too much to get out of it. We're just kind of like allowing the days to pass just so we can get out of this without actually taking action to do things. This is kind of like, you may feel, that you need to make changes in your life, but you're lazy. You know that you need to step on top of things and start getting to organize things, but you're kind of like just a bit out of it. That's kind of Mars, Saturn in Pisces. It's kind of like, oh my God, it's almost like you're constantly on drugs or constantly drinking alcohol. Pisces, escapism. You sit there and watching Netflix day and night just to escape reality because reality is too much for you, but your reality is in a mess, and the mess is growing, and you're becoming more and more overwhelmed by the mess in your life, but you're not even doing anything about it. You just keep on watching Netflix and hoping that it will just solve itself. This could be, your addictions are taking over. You're drinking more than usual. You're taking drugs more than usual. You are just kind of like escaping. This could be very depressing. Saturn can be depressing. Saturn can be melancholy and depression and heaviness and kind of like not fun, and for people who are not well, with Pisces is the place of mental health, and so people that this can be a place where people really lose their sense of ability to handle reality, to handle life. This is could be energy that some people unfortunately will choose to leave this planet, will kind of decide to, that's it, we're done. Today I took my son to play bowling, and as we parked in the bowling, we saw a car, like there was an accident and somebody died in that accident, and I could feel that energy of that death. It was like 100 meters away. It's like a car just went into the traffic light pole, and I could feel that kind of death energy there and the sadness that is involved. But this also means mental health. People who are struggling with mental health, this could be even more challenging time for them. I hope this is not directly impacting you or your beloveds, but I'm just naming it because it's in the chart. It's a place where people can take their life. It's a place where people can give up into despair. They just they can't take it anymore. But what it's really aiming for, this Mars conjunct Saturn in Pisces, which is exactly on the eclipse, by the way. It's like a few hours after the eclipse, it's the exact conjunction. Which is also auspicious because on the full moon eclipse in Libra, we had Venus conjunct Saturn. Now, 2 weeks later, on the new moon solar eclipse, we have Mars conjunct Saturn. So it's very interesting because Saturn is the gatekeeper. Saturn is that kind of like, show me how many tasks did you manage to fulfill, show me your homework, show me that you are standing up to expectations, you did your duties, you've done your responsibility. Okay, you may pass and meet Neptune. So it's almost like Saturn is the doorman of planets on the way to meet Neptune at the end of Pisces, which is a whole saga by itself. And so 2 weeks ago on the full moon eclipse in Libra, this is how cool it is. Full moon eclipse in Libra 2 weeks ago. Libra is ruled by Venus. and Venus was conjunct Saturn. And so in these 2 weeks, the guideline of that full moon eclipse in Libra was like, we need you to get responsible with your business, with your job, with your relationships, with your love life, with your sex life, with your shopping, with your money, with your finance, with your investment. You need to make sure you're really on top of things. You need to let go and clear out things that are no longer in alignment with your future. So, maybe you quit a job, maybe you change the job, maybe you decided that you need to put that debt to an end and made an agreement to pay that debt. Maybe you are consolidating your debts. Maybe you are selling your house. Maybe you are buying a house. I hope not. Maybe you are replanning your investment over the last 2 weeks. Venus conjunct Saturn is kind of make sure that you're responsible. Now, the new moon solar eclipse in Aries, which is ruled by Mars, now Mars is with Saturn. So both eclipses, in both of their times, had the ruling planet of the eclipse house with Saturn. And so this is really important because Saturn is saying like, you really need to have some spiritual integrity here. Whatever you do, you have to make sure that you do it with your spiritual integrity. You have to make sure you're responsible, step up, do the hard work, stop complaining and whining and whining and crying. I don't have time for this. That's Saturn. It's a cold, hardcore kind of disciplinary. It's the commander in the army. It's the police officer. It's the judge in court of law. It's that university professor. It doesn't have too much time for your emotions or your sobering, but it's in Pisces. It's very emotional. It's very sensitive. And so in one hand, Pisces is softening Saturn to be a bit more compassionate, a bit more loving, a bit more understanding, even though it's not his territory. On the other hand, Saturn in Pisces is saying like, get your shit together. I don't have time for you to now be lost and in despair. And it's like, this is not the time to give up. This is not the time to break down. Yes, you still need to show to work. I know you're having a hard time. I know you're having challenging times. Step up and face it and just keep on going. The rewards will come later. That's Saturn. Long-term rewards. Saturn is karma. And so in the full moon eclipse, we were ending karma of Venus. On this new moon solar eclipse, we are initiating new karma of Mars, of the masculine. And it's in Pisces. It's kind of our ego and our masculine self need to be aligned with spirit. We need to have spiritual integrity in our actions, in our desires, in our wants and needs, in the way we are going to design and create the new intention of the new self we're giving birth to. We need to make sure that it's with our spiritual integrity in mind and in action. But it could be, you might have felt it in the last week. This is ongoing for a week at least, okay? You might have felt it. It's kind of like building up frustration, building up anger, resentment. It's kind of like, get me the fuck out of this shit show. It's kind of like 3 days ago, I felt it so strongly. I had a pillow fight. I was fighting with pillows. I took a pillow and I smashed the pillow just to get it out of my body. And that's the healthy expression of it, because you don't want to use it to build up resentment and frustration and anger and then decide to go to war with someone. That's the worst thing you could do right now, and the warning as well. Warning. Do not go to war, because any conflict, any argument, any fight, any spewt of fire that you're going to release, it's because you have a build-up resentment, frustration, anger that you need to find an outlet to, and fighting someone is not the way to do it. And that's where the spiritual integrity and the responsibility is coming into play. And so, why could you feel frustration, resentment, anger, upset, kind of like, get me out of here? Because you might have been lazy, hazy, out of it, not really doing what you need to do, waiting for things to get better and feel better while you sit on your sofa watching Netflix or doing shopping or taking drugs or alcohol, whatever. So you're kind of letting yourself down and you're not really stepping up, and that builds up even more frustration and anger and resentment, and that cooks you more on the inside, and you become in a boiling pot. And this is going to intensify because Mars is on 12 degree Pisces, Saturn is on 14 degree Pisces. They still have 2 more degrees until the exact conjunction, which is going to happen after the eclipse. So what can we do about it? Be creative. Stay home. Don't go out there to the world trying to feel better, because the work is inward right now. This is not an energy of going to a party. This is not an energy of like, I'm having a shitty time, I'm just gonna go to a nightclub, drink my ass to the ground, get pissed and drunk, or just find like a one-night stand or some casual sex. That's Mars and Saturn. You could feel like, and also Venus sextile Pluto in the last 2 days. So you might have felt a bit more kind of sex vibe, a bit more kind of intense need to have like sex, or to explore sex, or to feel deeply. That's Venus sextile Pluto, Friday, Saturday. And it's kind of like, no. This is a very sacred time of healing. And we need to treat it with respect and with integrity in order to benefit from it the most. So with Mars conjunct Saturn, the recommendation is go with the flow, but take action to clean your shit, to get your shit together. Clean your act, clean your spirit. Take spiritual action of cleansing, of purification, of sobering up. This is kind of like disillusion, sobering. Get clean. You want to have a new start of this year. You want to have a new moon solar eclipse in Aries with a whole new essence of yourself. You want to start in a good way. You want to initiate. You want to put that key in the engine switch and turn that engine on and just start going to the direction that you want to go. But if you want to do that, Mars and Saturn are saying like, get your shit together. Get on top of things, get to work, be creative, be flexible, be compassionate to yourself. You are not in your best, and you're not supposed to be in your best. Have self-love. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for your wounding. Forgive yourself for all the bad things you've done in your life. Forgive yourself for all the mistakes you've made in your life. Forgive yourself for how much you've hurt other people, if you intended to or not. Forgive yourself for how much you've hurt yourself. Forgive yourself for how much you put yourself down, criticize yourself, shame yourself, guilt yourself, blame yourself, shit yourself. Forgive yourself, because you are human. You have reasons for that, valid reasons for that, and it's okay. But we need to bring compassion, forgiveness, and love in order for that wound to receive that soothing balm. And so that's how Mars and Saturn are helping us to act with compassion and self-love towards the self, the masculine aspect of ourself, our ego that is very wounded, to comfort it with love, with compassion, with forgiveness, but at the same time, get going, fix your life, sober up, clean up your shit, clean up your act. You know that you are fading away and lingering behind things. You know that you're falling behind. Just start the day and try to get on top of things. You won't be able to achieve everything in one day, but if you start your day and you fix 1, 2, 3 things that you've been kind of leaving on the side for a while, you will feel better about yourself. The day after, another improvement. A day after, another improvement. And as you make those improvements, number one, you are stopping the roller coaster of just allowing things to just accumulate and become a mess and toxic and kind of like not good for you. Your mental health. How can you fix your mental health? It's as simple as fixing your diet. Starts with that. Make sure you drink a lot of water. Tomorrow morning you wake up, have a better breakfast. Make sure you have proper breakfast, lunch, dinner. Make sure you have vitamins, minerals, nutrients, good food. It will fix your guts, it will help your mental health. If you need to take some supplements that you are aware of and familiar with, just start. Cut away the addictions, cut away the toxins, cut away the things that make you kind of escape. Take a break from Netflix. Take a break from everything that you escape from. And that will help you come back to yourself and you will feel better about yourself. So that's Mars conjunct Saturn. Be aware. There is potential for frustration, upset, anger, because you want to get out of here. You want to get forward. I am feeling it too. We are all feeling it. We all want to get out of the place we are in order to get to a better place we want to be in. But things don't happen. And if things don't happen our way, they happen in a divine way. And our ego is getting frustrated when things don't go according to our ego mind's way, because our ego mind's way forget that there is a divine plan and a divine timing that is much bigger than us and much wiser than us. And when things don't go exactly as we want them to be, is because all the delay is for the better way. There is always a reason for the delay. There's always a reason why things happen in their own time rather than in your time. And if you learn to surrender to that and just go with the flow with that, you are preventing yourself from being cooked from the inside. And if you are cooked from the inside, take action to release it in a healthy, non-destructive way. Punch the pillow, smash the pillow, smash the pillow. I was smashing the pillow, you should have seen me. You know, there's that meme of that big teddy bear that is like punching down that kind of negative energies. That's how I felt. and release it. You drive in your own car, there's no one with you in the car, you can scream it, release your frustration, upset, speak to spirit, speak to God, speak to creation, express it, get it out of you, but don't give it to anyone else, because it's your shit. And if you give it to someone else, you're in a war. And we all know that there's enough wars around us, we don't need more, we don't need no more war. So that's 6 o'clock, Saturn and Mars. Chat room? Hello Jules, and hello Breeze. Awesome, yes, I am well, thank you Breeze. Moving on to the next one, Neptune, 28 degree in Pisces. Hello, for the first time since 1860. That's a long time. Long time, that's like 180 years. Neptune is on the 28 degrees of Pisces. And now Neptune is going to travel all the way to the 29 degrees 55 minutes of Pisces, where it's going to retrograde and go back to the 27, 26. And so these final critical degrees of Pisces, they are super sensitive. They are the end of the road. It's the final 2 degrees of the zodiac, and it's Neptune in his home, which means Neptune is the main ruler of the energy, because Neptune is the only ruling planet in his home. And so this is very kind of important to remember, that with all the intensity and everything is going on, what is Neptune, the only ruler in Pisces, saying to us? This is all divine. This is all guided by the Great Spirit, you like it or not. This is all divinely planned. And what we need you is to trust the divine plan. We need you to go with the flow. We need you to surrender all that needs to be surrendered, let go of all that needs to be let go, end all that needs to end, even if it's your own old ego ending. Your own character identity that is ending. The old, what you used to think about life, and everything is changing. We are all changing in a very big way. And Neptune at the end of Pisces is really kind of putting that magic spell on that final release and ending and surrender and closure. On the light side of it, it means that the veils to spirit and higher dimensions is very thin. Spirituality can be penetrated into in a much easier way. We can channel clearly. We can perceive psychically. Heightened telepathy, heightened intuition, visions, dreams. I don't know what about you, but my dreams lately have been wild weird dreams. Neptune Pisces, multidimensionality beyond time and space. Everything is liquid. Formless take form. spiritual guidance, spiritual angels, spirituality in general, which explains why we're seeing so much around the world that is around religions. I need a sip. And so the last few hours, as you can see, the moon right now is on 2929 Pisces. Neptune is 2808. So 2 hours ago, an hour to 2.5 hours ago, 3 hours ago, the moon was exactly with Neptune. And, overall, you might have felt it as a beautiful kind of energy of just maybe watching a beautiful sunset, or maybe enjoying a beautiful day with your friends or beloveds, family. Some nice kind of gentle sharing time, music. I spend this time with my son watching his favorite footy team playing footy. It was quite fun. Then so this is the Pisces party. Mars conjunct Saturn, moon with Neptune. Now the moon is in the dark moon phase, and in an hour from now, the moon is going into Aries. Now let's go to the Aries party, because there's a lot of Aries, and Aries is fire. So Pisces is this ether, flow, dream time with spirit, and Aries is like fire, let's go. It's a very big shift from this ending. Think about like Pisces like a funeral. An old man is dying, and Aries is a new baby is born. So it's like when you're in a hospital. On one floor you've got old people dying, and on the floor above you got the new baby borns birthing, all night long birthing. That's Pisces and Aries. So Venus moved into Aries on Friday afternoon at around 3 o'clock p.m. and that's a big shift because Venus loved being in Pisces, especially with Neptune, to dream some dreams with spirit. And now Venus in Aries, the goddess of love, now she can become, if in Pisces she was dreamy and compassionate and flowing, this is part of the energy that supports the Mars conjunct Saturn. Venus is coming to Aries, is like, okay, let's get our shit together. It's time to take some action. It's time to fix our diet. It's time to fix our health. It's time to fix our finance. It's time to fix our money. It's time to fix our jobs. It's time to get going. It's time to get a direction with our relationships. It's time to get a relationship. It's time to open the heart again. It's time to make money. It's time to invest. It's time for Bitcoin. It's time for silver. It's time to kind of plan what we're doing. Selling the house, buying the house, selling the car, buying the car. Moving a home, changing location, changing a job. I need to get to a place that I'm feeling better about it. I want to get going. And this relationship, if in Pisces I was asking you to love me, in Aries I demand you to love me. That's Venus in Aries. It's kind of like, I want you to love me now. In Pisces, kind of Venus like, hey honey, do you think we can make love tonight? I would really love to make love to you. Venus in Aries is like, I just letting you know tonight I need you to make love to me. It's kind of like demanding. So Aries is our desires, our fire, our passion, our eagerness, are kind of like abrupt. I want it. It's like more ego, more self, more want. And Venus Day is like, I want to feel better. I want to feel good. I want to feel sexy. I want to feel love. I want to feel abundance. I want to walk in a place that I love walking. I want to have a job that I love doing. I want to go and get it. I want a new partner. I want a new relationship, or I want this relationship to become better. Enough with the wishy-washy. Okay, things will get better. We need to make things better. Venus in Aries. Now, let's go to the real balsamic concept that is going on here. North node of the moon is now on 15 degrees Aries. The sun is on 18 degrees Aries, so the sun was conjunct north node on Friday morning around 9 a.m. And this is like the sun, the soul expression coming to the north node, is kind of the future destiny is calling. Where am I going? Mars coming to Saturn. I'm not getting what I want and I really want to get there. The Neptune is at the end of Pisces. I'm surrendering, but can you please help me? Where is this divine assistance, divine guidance, some miracles, some magic? Venus comes into, the Venus came into Aries exactly when the sun was with the North Node, and that's very boom. This is Friday. So the sun comes into the north node, it's like, where the heck am I going with my future? What is my future calling? Where do I want to go? I don't like this feeling. I don't like to be in this situation. I don't like the way my life is at the moment. Where am I going? What do I want? And Venus comes into Aries as well. It's like, yes, let's make it happen. Enough with the bullshit. Cut the bullshit. Where are we going? What do we want? And now we're in a dark moon phase. So it's kind of like, okay, I'm ending, I'm releasing, I'm surrendering, I'm preparing myself for this new moon total solar eclipse in Aries, which is conjunct Chiron. So now we come into Chiron. It's already happening. The sun is on 1806 Aries, Chiron is on 1919 Aries, and this conjunction is already happening. And as the sun is closing in on Chiron, the moon is gonna come from behind and gonna close, and they're gonna come together exactly on Tuesday morning, new moon solar eclipse. And so from now into Tuesday, it is possible that the sense of healing crisis is going to intensify, that the pressure is going to intensify. It's possible that you might feel the most wounded or the most frustrated, the most annoyed, the most stuck, the most get me out of here, because it's building. But remember, Saturn with Mars saying like, patience, be responsible. This is karma. Don't create some bad karma here. Come with spiritual integrity. Come to create positive karma. Come from place of love and compassion, forgiveness, even though you are frustrated. Just take action to fix it and trust the divine plan. Right? There's a lot of fire, so we need to be careful of the fire, because fire can burn your house and fire can warm up your house. Fire can cook your meal and fire can burn your meal. Fire, your love, your heart. When you hug your beloved, you can warm them with your love in a cold night. And when you fight with them and argue with them and get upset and lose your face and lose yourself, you can burn them with your anger and frustration. You don't want to do that because you are going through something. So own your shit, bottom line. Don't give your shit to other people. And if other people give their shit to you, realize that it's not too wrong, don't make it right. Don't join the shitball fight. Realize that someone else is giving you shit to trigger that sense of wounding that you have, your healing crisis, to bring it up to your awareness so you really understand what it is about. But you don't have to become like them. Remember that. So this is quite intense, but remember, it's a healing crisis. It's also beneficial because we are going to unlock a certain treasure in the coming weeks. Because this effect of this new moon solar eclipse in Aries with Chiron, this is going to happen on Tuesday morning, the 9th of April. 12 days later, Jupiter and Uranus are meeting in Taurus, and they're already in a meeting. It's already happening, right? We'll get there. So the expansion and the rewards will come afterwards. But right now is this kind of walk. And also interesting enough that the comet, the green comet that is passing on the eclipse time, the comet is traveling through Taurus, and it will be the closest to the sun. Pay attention. The comet will be the closest to the sun exactly on the 21st of April, when Jupiter and Uranus are going to meet. And it will be the closest to the Earth on the 8th of May, a month from now, which will be in Pisces. And so when the comet is involved, the comet is a messenger, an agent, delivers the message. So just realize that this new moon solar eclipse is the seed, is the blueprint, which will unfold in the weeks after. And also remember that through this eclipse season, we are having Mercury retrograde. So I'm trying to give you the sense of, don't expect the new moon solar eclipse to be the big shaboom shabang and it's all solved. More think about it, that the new moon solar eclipse is the energetic stamp. It's that new frequency injected. It's that VOOM, that new light frequency injected into your life, the new healing crisis kind of being triggered, the key goes into the lock and the lock is opening up, but the effect and the fruition of that process is going to unfold in the weeks after, as Jupiter conjunct Uranus when the comet passes closest to the sun, and Mercury retrogrades to help us understand what's going on, redefine. It's a positive Mercury retrograde overall, because Mercury retrograde started with Venus conjunct Neptune, now with Mars and now Mars will come to Neptune as well while Mercury is still retrograde. So there's a lot of compassion of Neptune and spirituality that is guiding through all this process. So as our ego, wounded mind, self is going through this tremendous uncomfortable process of this kind of shadow walk and dealing with being in places we don't want to be in, feeling things we don't want to feel, wanting to break free out of this, wanting to get to a new place because we are not happy or we're not great where we are, it's going to slowly click. And there will be beneficial rewards, beneficial development following this energy. So trust the process. Don't give up. Keep on doing the work. We've been on this journey for a long time. We are tired. It's been exhausting 4 freaking years. And who we were when we started this journey is not who we are now. And who we will be when this saga will end, probably 26, 27. Don't go like, no way. It's a process. 24, things are happening. 25, we're going to see the realizations of everything that is happening. And 26, things starting to kind of like take new form, and by 27 we are looking back, we're like, okay, it's very balsamic. It's not easy. It's a big time. So Mercury, 25th degree of Aries. Mercury came to the 27th degree of Aries and went retrograde. And so as this new moon solar eclipse is happening here, then what will happen is that the moon will travel and will meet with Mercury retrograde. Then the sun, the music ended, so I need to fix the music. Oh no, it's not. Then the sun will travel and will meet Mercury. This is next week. And then Mercury is going to come and meet with Chiron. And then Mercury is going to come and meet with the North Node. Oh, and Venus is going to meet Mercury. So Mercury retrograde is going to have catch-up with the moon, with the sun, with Chiron, with Venus, and with is going to stop on the North Node and then move forward. So just for you to realize that this Mercury retrograde is also a very significant part of this eclipse energy, of all this process we are going through. And Mercury retrograde will go back until my birthday, the Anzac Day, the 25th of April. On the 25th of April, Mercury is stationing direct. And only on the 17th of May, 17th or 14th of May, Mercury will be out of shadow. And so, as this eclipse season is happening, Mercury is retrograding until the 25th of April. It will stop exactly here on the North Node, and then from the 25th of April it's going to travel forward, and only on the 17th of May is going to move out of shadow. So keep that in mind as well, to give you a bit of perspective of how it's all gonna be figured out. Now remember, the first shadow zone of Mercury is like, check this out, what's going on here? Now Mercury retrograde is the phase of like, so what is this about? So it's like we are looking into it. It's like, so what is this about? What is this about? And what is Mercury doing in this process of what is this about? It's in Aries. So what is this wound about? So what is this insecurity about? So what is this shame about? What is this guilt about? What is this impotency about? What is it in that inadequacy about? What is this yucky feeling about yourself? What is it about this negative self-thought, negative self-belief? What is this about? Important part of the healing crisis. Because through that is like, okay. And as Mercury is going this what is this about stage, it's going to happen while Uranus conjunct Jupiter, which is the light switch on, the epiphany, the enlightenment, the transcendence, the realization, the Christ consciousness. The consciousness is rising from a wounded healing crisis into a whole new level of the godly self. And so in this shit soup, there is the most amazing product that is us, the new self, that is going to emerge out of it on a higher level, on a higher vibration of consciousness, on a higher level of self-understanding, self-perception, self-desires, self-wants, self-needs, self-ego. Our ego is being smashed and dissolved because it's no longer serving our highest good. There is a much better version of our ego self that is going to emerge out of it, that is going to take us to a new future. So stick around and keep on doing the work, as uncomfortable as it is, and embrace this process because it's very powerful. Hello, Rukshika, Bharat and Trishan. Yes, powerful time. Remember, I was talking about this week from the beginning of the year. From the beginning of this year, I told you, by the time we'll get to the 9th of April, where we're going to have the new moon solar eclipse in Aries, conjunct Chiron, and Jupiter conjunct Taurus, Uranus in Taurus, that's going to be a rockets up our ass into a whole new place. April is the apex, that crescendo of 2024. Keep that in mind. We are now living the month that is the most important, significant, powerful, intense of this entire year. This is the month. And so, and this month will basically ripple through throughout this entire year. So that's Mercury retrograde. We're gonna travel through that later. Now, let's go to Jupiter Uranus in Taurus. Jupiter 18 degrees in Taurus, 45 minutes. Uranus 2106 Taurus. There's 2 degrees and 21 minutes between them. They're in conjunction already. And this is big. The last time Jupiter and Uranus meets every 13 to 14 years. Depends on the retrogrades. Last time Jupiter and Uranus met, it was a triple conjunction. It happened in 2010, 2011. And it was triple because the retrogrades were kind of in alignment. And so they met in Pisces in 2010. Then they met again in Pisces in 2010. It was like May 2010, I think. Don't hold me by the exact, but I think it was around May 2010, and then September 2010. It was like direct May, retrograde September, and the direct again. They met in the 0 degrees Aries in January 2011. And 2 months after they have met, we had the Fukushima nuclear disaster with the big earthquake and the tsunami and the nuclear reactor explosion. And just think how symbolic that is. Jupiter, big, massive expansion. Uranus, sudden, shocking, unexpected. Uranus, uranium, nuclear energy. They met in Pisces, ocean, water. And then they met in Aries, fire, explosion. And so it's a very symbolic meaning of what happened in Fukushima, that they have met in Pisces, and then they met in Aries, and then we had a massive earthquake that created a big tsunami, that created a nuclear reactor malfunction, meltdown, explosion with a nuclear disaster. Now they meet in Taurus, and Taurus is relationships on a personal level, relationships, but also on a collective level, because relationships between nations, countries, sexuality, we can see all the gender equality and transhumanism, and the Neuralink now, the experiment of Elon Musk thing with planting the chip in the brain that Now the first patient is already been demonstrating how they can play a video game just by telepathy. So they think what they want to do in the game and they're actually doing it in the game. And based on this, on the result of this Neuralink experiment, now Elon Musk announced a few weeks ago that they have a new product working on called Blindsight, which he basically claimed that they could help blind people see again. And so technology advancement, AI, it's nothing to be afraid of. It's also going to bring a lot of beneficial developments for humanity. Keep that in mind. Of course, there will be shadow as well, and there will be some dangers and risks as well, but there will also be light and benefits as well. And so, again, Taurus, relationships, health, the health system, medical system, sexuality, fashion. You know, fashion, we could see a whole new level of fashion with digital electronics, dresses that changes colors and LEDs, and quirky, unique, radical kind of fashion, beauty, beauty treatments that will be advanced, innovative, everything got to do with medical, health, beauty, fashion is going to receive a lot of technological innovation. Agriculture, Taurus, agriculture. So we're going to see a lot of developments of food growing, with frequencies of light, frequencies of sound, a new way of growing food in a very sustainable way. Taurus is Mother Nature. So we're going to see development, technological development that will help us, clean the oceans, clean the atmosphere, do all kind of things. I'm saying the positive things, but of course there's the negative things as well. Because there's going to be also a lot of radical experimental with sexuality, with fashion, with the health, that not all of them are going to be right or good. And Mother Earth, there's going to be positive developments, but also we are looking at extreme, unexpected, shocking, traumatic events in Mother Earth. Uranus rules vibration, tremors, lightning. Jupiter is big, massive, and so could be big earthquakes, and we are seeing like a lot of activity all around the planet. This week, everyone's spectacular smoke ring from the biggest volcano in Europe, in Italy. I was like, what are you talking about? What are you excited about? This is not a good sign. This is a sign that someone is puffing towards a... The 2 weeks ago, it was announced that a week post the eclipse, America is gonna be flooded by 100 trillion cicadas. The first time it happened since 1802. So the first time in 220 years, there are gonna be 2 generations of cicadas. 100 trillion cicadas will flush America. And cicadas basically eat everything in their path. So all the crops, all the planetary kind of growth, vegetables, fruits, trees. This could mean a big impact on agriculture, on food supply in America, which will affect the entire world, of course. The focus is a lot about America because of Pluto. In Pluto return for America, we've been going through in the last few years, and Pluto is going back to the 29th degree of Capricorn. This eclipse is again falling exactly on the path of Mexico, America. Very auspicious. And this eclipse is very long. It's going to be in its maximum length 4 minutes and 32 seconds of complete darkness in the middle of the day above certain areas in Texas. So weather, Mother Nature, we can expect natural disasters, we can expect some weird phenomena. And there's a lot of weird things happening with space. Uranus is space, out of time and space. So in this total solar eclipse, we have CERN, the nuclear reactor in Europe, is doing another experiment after 2 or 3 years break, which they're going to take it to a whole new level, trying to discover more about the antimatter, exactly on the eclipse. NASA is launching 3 rockets exactly on the eclipse time. The comet is passing in our solar system in the eclipse time. There's a lot of things happening, and when you're starting connecting the dots, you're going like, what the heck is going on? Something is going on. What the heck is going on? Why do they do all these things at once at the same time? Then on the less comfortable thing to discuss, Taurus is safety, security, stability, national security, the army forces, military, police. We're having an increasing narrative in the last few days of big escalation of war in the Middle East between Israel and Iran. If this will go to places that we don't want them to go, this could lead to, God forbid, nuclear activity. And the nuclear thing is already kind of brewing between the Russia conflict and America, the Russia and the NATO. Now this nuclear narrative is rising between the Iran and the Israeli kind of conflict. And so we can only pray and hope that we're not going to go there. But I must mention it because it's a possibility that we're going to have Jupiter big event in Taurus of national security with Uranus that could be shocking, traumatizing. Last time they met, we had a nuclear reactor, Fukushima. This time they meet in Taurus. Are we going to have some nuclear thing going on with wars? Let's hope not, for the sake of all of us. But to balance that out, this new moon solar eclipse is in a semi-sextile to Jupiter. And the semi-sextile, sextile is supportive, beneficial. It's kind of 60 degrees. The semi-sextile is kind of like a semi-supportive. It's kind of beneficiary in a way. So with Neptune at the end of Pisces and with Mars conjunct Saturn, this could be good balancing energy to the extreme sense of wounding. The whole sense of wounding of nations, the whole conflicts around the world that creates like a lot of anger and rage of different countries against different countries because some countries doing this to other countries, and this escalate everything. And we can only hope that Neptune at the end of Pisces and Mars conjunct Saturn is gonna kind of hold everyone in their integrity and make everyone a bit more responsible, not to blow off the planet with some stupid thing. And also personally to us, and so that's pretty much this balsamic thing that is going on here. This was just the scan of the sky without even, yes, I spoke about this week, but this is how intense it is. I need a drink. How's the chat room going? Well, how are you doing, guys? Let me know. How are you going? What are you feeling? Fitness ring, Tonya, Nico. I'm sorry, Tonya, I didn't get back to you. I had a few weird days. I'll get back to you. But yeah, let me know. How are you feeling? What are you feeling? From 0 to 10, what's your score? 0, shit. 10, amazing. Where are you on the scale? Let me know. I forgot to say at the beginning, sound healing meditation. We're having a sound healing meditation on Tuesday morning, a few hours post the eclipse, at 11 a.m. If you want to join us, a day journey to initiate the new moon solar eclipse, come join us on Tuesday at 11 a.m. And then there is Wednesday 7 p.m, the day after, integration. So if you want to come and join the process, this ritual of activating this new frequency, this new healing, come and join me. Tuesday 11 a.m, Wednesday 7 p.m. Would love to see you. Would love to hold space for you. Come journey with us. It will be amazing. Hello, Kimberly. Hello. Cool. So, what's the time? 9 o'clock. That was 1 hour straight download. Sponsored by Great Spirit. Alright, so let's take it by the days now. So let's go first of all to there you go. Moon is moon. Where are you, moon? Where is the moon moving to Aries? Okay, moon is moving to Aries at 9:25. So 20 minutes from now, the moon is kicking into Aries, and so now we're gonna have a lot of fire. Moon, Venus, North Node, Sun, Chiron, Mercury, lots of fire, right? So be aware. A lot of wounded people walking around, including yourself. There's a lot of fire in the air, including in yourself. Be the good agent. Don't go to war with people. Just Do the inner walk. Take a moment before you speak. Mercury retrograde in Aries. Don't say the things you don't really want to say. You know? Take a moment before you speak. Reread your email before you send it. Process what you are hearing in order to make sure you're hearing it well. Recheck all the small letters before you sign a contract. Just drive safely. This accident today that I saw, someone lost their life. What a terrible way to go. Driving their car, 1 second later, they hit the pole and they're dead. What a terrible way to die. So take it easy on the road. Drive safe. I always say to my son, it's not enough to be a good driver. It's not about you. You need to pay attention to what they are doing. They are the risky part. You can be a good driver, but it's like they could be the risk. So just pay attention on the road, on your travels. So Moon kicks into Aries in 20 minutes, and then a few hours later, the Moon will be with Venus on the 3rd degree of Aries. Venus is moving to the 3rd degree tonight as well. At 2:21 a.m. tonight, the Moon is conjunct Venus. So while we go to sleep, you know, we might be processing now some fiery emotions coming up that we want to feel in our love life, in our money. You know, some maybe it's kind of like, give me my money, show me the money. Why is this trade taking so long? Why is this crypto doesn't jump as I wanted to jump? You know, things like that, becoming a bit itchy about your kind of money or about your sex. Give me sex now. Where is my sex? You know, why you don't love me the way I want you to love me? Why you not hugging me? Don't touch me. You know that I don't like you when you touch me like that. Hey, chill out. Don't give your shit to other people. It's your shit. Own it, so you could disown it later, but don't give it to someone else. And if someone else gives you shit, let it bounce off you, but don't throw shit back, you know, in order to repay. So, okay, that's good. So that's the Moon. Let's go to tomorrow. Sunday. Sunday. Tomorrow, let's go to the evening time, so it's not in the middle of the night. This is, there you go, tomorrow evening, Monday evening, the Moon, there we go, the Moon is together with the North Node. The Moon together with the North Node as a prelude to the eclipse. Tomorrow at 10:18 p.m. Moon conjunct North Node. This is in a dark moon phase, really close to the new moon, so this is really building up, and the Moon comes to the North Node and it's tuning into that feelings that we want to feel. Mars is coming closer to Saturn, and then let's go a few hours later, and the big shaboom shabang. And the big shaboom shabang is... there we go. Look at that beauty here at your 8 o'clock. Moon, Sun, Chiron, 19 degrees, 24 minutes. Let's move one more minute. There you go. Sun, Chiron, Moon, 24 minutes. It's amazing. It's like to the astrological minute conjunction. It's quite fascinating. And for that, let's bring some a new vibe. Yeah, let's bring some new vibe. No, let's keep it with that. It's cool. So on this new moon solar eclipse, we can see that Jupiter is 2 degrees away from Uranus, so they are in conjunction. And we can see that, you can see it's like if the Sun, Chiron and the Moon are 19 Aries, and Jupiter is 19 Taurus, there is a semi-sextile between them, you see? And so there is like a positive influence of Jupiter, that whatever this is about, this will bring growth and expansion and blessings of abundance and love and just better quality of life. So that Jupiter good influence over this. What else is happening? Mercury is on 24, not far away. Venus on 4, and look at Mars and Saturn. On the time of the eclipse, look at Mars and Saturn, okay? So there's like 1 degree and 24 minutes separating them. So I spoke a lot about this energy, and maybe now it's time to show you. Yeah, I think it's good time to show you this. Let's see. There we go. There we go. So here is the solar system right now. Let me just take this down just a second. No. Asteroid belt there. Hide. Cool. Okay. Thank you. So this is the solar system right now as we see it, and if we move it to there we go. Let's move it. Here it is. So as you can see, Sun, Moon, Earth. Okay. So think we have like the Sun, the Moon is covering. As you can see here, you see, the Moon is gonna cover. Here it is. Here. You see how this is gonna travel right here on top of America. And so the Moon is covering the light of the Sun. The reason why the eclipse is total is because, and look at Mercury is right there. You see, it's exactly on the same line. That's why it creates this shadow, you see? And so this is how the total eclipse is going to look like. And we can see that Mercury is pretty much involved there. So in the chart you think it's 4 degrees away, but now that you look at it from the astronomical kind of point of view, you realize Mercury is there. And so we're having this kind of like new moon solar eclipse in Aries, and Mercury is there too. And in a week from now, we'll have the exact Mercury-Sun conjunction. There you go, here. So on the 11th, no, in the 11th, sorry, on the 9th, yeah, here, the 11th. So we're gonna have there, and this is kind of the message coming through, a realization is coming through. But if I move it back to the full moon eclipse, it's gonna be early in the morning. Yeah, what did we say? It is 4:21 a.m. on Tuesday morning. 4:21 a.m. There you go, around here. Oh, what did we do now? No. There we go. Okay, double clicked it. So here is the full moon eclipse. The new moon solar eclipse, and with Mercury there. And what else we can see? Look at that. Mars and Venus are pretty close. We had the Mars, Venus, Pluto 2 weeks ago. Oh, I did it again. Oh my God. Okay, so here we are. Look at that. Here's the Mars, Saturn. Right? So Mars conjunct Saturn is holding us in our spiritual integrity. Saturn is kind of like, you be careful, Lord of War, the God of War. You be careful. You don't want to shit yourself. You don't want to do things you regret, because everything you're doing has karma. Everything you're doing will have long-term effect and long-term influence. So you want to make sure that you don't go to war that will wound you. You don't want to wound yourself, which, by the way, it's a warning. Because yes, with Chiron involved, some people unconscious of the energy and unconscious of their action, there is the risk of getting wounds. Accidents, fights, accidents, if it's car accidents or walk accidents, or just smashing your own finger with a hammer or whatever, things like that. And this is coming when Venus was sextile in Pluto, right, in this weekend. And with Venus Pluto, this kind of, I said, it could have kind of brought up your sexual drive, your sexual urges. So this is an energy that some people will choose to have an affair or a secret relationship, or kind of pursue a sexual need in hidden, in secret, or just choosing to run a new discreet relationship that is kind of secret. And so if this influence of Pluto Venus, which is supposed to be supportive, beneficial, empowering, if this is done in the right way, evolutionary way, with Mars, Saturn, in our spiritual integrity, karma, awesome, beneficial, fantastic. But if the Venus Pluto, where are you, Pluto? If the Venus Pluto, which looks, Mars is pretty much there too. If the Venus Pluto has made you take some dark route or some dark decisions based on some dark shadowy desires, and you are reckless, careless about the responsibility or the integrity of things, then you might have to face some wound. Now we can't see Chiron in this software, but Chiron orbit is passing between Saturn and Uranus. So here is Uranus, here is Saturn, and Chiron orbit is traveling between them. And so you can think that we have the Sun. Oh, let's bring it back to the eclipse here. We have the Sun, Earth, Sun. Well, what am I talking about? Earth, Moon, Mercury, Sun, Chiron. Okay? So it's kind of like Chiron is the big. I don't know why they don't mention Chiron, but it's like, yeah, it's traveling there. What else can we say from this point of view? Is that here is the big conjunction of Uranus-Jupiter. That once we get to the 21st of April, you see we are moving. And here is the exact conjunction of Uranus-Jupiter. Now, this alignment already happened from the Sun point of view, in March. Here you go. See, we already have like Sun, Jupiter, Uranus on the helio chart. It happened like in mid-March. Now comes the Earth here on 21st, and this is that big reveal, okay? While Mercury is retrograding. So this is like to show you how it unfolds from the cosmos, and look how all this side of the sky is empty. There is nothing. There's literally nothing. Pluto, Neptune, Uranus, Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, Venus, Mercury. There's nothing here. It's all in Aquarius, Pluto, Saturn, Mars, in Pisces, Neptune, Pisces, right? And then the Uranus, Jupiter, Taurus. So it's very interesting to see it in that way too. But yeah, as we're gonna go, Mercury is coming to the 25th. Here it is, Mercury station in direct, and then it's going back to his shadow, and around the 17th of May, Mercury is out of shadow. So, and we're gonna have in this time, as we said before, we had Venus, Neptune, you see? We had Earth, Venus, Neptune, and this was on the full moon eclipse in Libra. And now we're having now we're gonna have the Mars, Earth, Neptune. There you go. As Mercury is stationed in direct and going direct, we're gonna have Earth, Mars, Neptune, and that's gonna be interesting by itself. An action of healing and surrender and divinity on one hand, but here's the dissolution of the ego self. The wounded ego self is being disillusioned, and this is post Uranus Jupiter. So very cool to see it from this point of view. Back to me. Hi. Oh, that's not the way. Oh, that's not the way. That's the way. So goes up and down. Today started at 7, tonight it's 3. I love that. Bar at 6, Rukshika 8.5. Okay, awesome. Good on us for being honest. You know, I'll give myself this week was weird, man. This was a weird week. I just couldn't get my mind to work properly. But yeah, for me, when I have my son with me, it's always feeling better. So I'll say right now, I'll give myself a 7. 7. But this week I was even a 3-4 some stage. But hey, it is what it is, you know. So this is Tuesday. I want to end the live stream soon. It's 9:20, and the things that follow. What did I miss? Let's see. Oh, the Mars conjunct Saturn. Yes, Mars conjunct Saturn. So this is the eclipse, new moon solar eclipse, 4:21 a.m. on Tuesday morning. Okay, so Monday night, healing sleep, new intentions, new projects, new ideas, new direction. This is a big initiation. This is massive initiation. Okay, and then as we move forward from the eclipse, the Mars Saturn is happening. I should have moved by the day, but never mind. The Mars Saturn is happening at, there we go. On Thursday at 6 a.m. and 13 minutes past 6 a.m. on Thursday, April 11, we have Mars conjunct Saturn exactly. So expect this held back, delays, setbacks, not going your way, kind of like patience, frustration, irritation, annoyance, anger, upset, cooking, kind of holding us back to climax on Thursday early morning. And so as you can see, Wednesday night sound healing could be very beneficial to cool you down, to balance you, to integrate the new moon solar eclipse of Tuesday morning, because on Wednesday night 7 p.m. sound healing, if I'll take it a few hours back, so Wednesday night sound healing, Mars conjunct Saturn, 17 minutes away. Venus on the 6th degree already. The Sun has passed Chiron. The Moon is already in Taurus with Jupiter. So this is also important on Wednesday. As Mars conjunct Saturn, the Moon comes to meet Jupiter and Uranus just before Jupiter and Uranus are going to meet. So the Moon is going to give us that emotional sense of the blessing that Jupiter and Uranus are going to give us 10 days later. So you can see how beautiful it is that if you do this work properly, responsibly with Mars conjunct Saturn, in your spiritual integrity with good karma in mind, just take action to start get going and clean your act and get your shit together and cut your addictions away and escapism away and take responsibility over your shit and just have a lot of compassion and self-love and forgiveness, and just don't go to war with anyone, but take it as an energy to just clean your act with patience. Trust the divine process with patience. We're passing the new moon solar eclipse in Aries conjunct Chiron, and as Mars conjunct Saturn, and you're doing that right, and the moon comes together with Jupiter and Uranus, and you can feel a sense of benefit. You can feel a positive development. You can feel sudden unexpected surprises. Okay? On the other hand, for other people, this might be you fell down the trap, you went to war with people, here comes like massive unexpected shocking trauma or something that zaps you. So we're moving back to the 6:13 a.m. on Thursday morning. That's the exact time of Mars conjunct Saturn. And once we pass that, we should feel a better flow. Like we could feel like the dam is being opened up and the water can flow. This is perfect actually. Mars Saturn in Pisces, it's a dam blocking the river flow. You are the river and you want to flow into the new ocean, but there is a blockage on the way. There is a dam. And so this is kind of like the dam is finally opening up and your water can flow. This is in that sense, 11th of April. And if we take it, when is the moon is going to be exactly with Jupiter? Literally an hour before. Less than an hour before Mars conjunct. There you go. Moon Jupiter is at 5:18 a.m. on Thursday morning, and Mars Saturn is at 6:13 a.m. So a very auspicious timing that Mars conjunct Saturn exactly as the Moon conjunct Jupiter exactly. And remember that Jupiter aligned semi-sextile to the new moon solar eclipse. And so the moon has traveled all the way back, and it's also the moon is with Jupiter semi-sextile in Chiron. So there's a beneficial development on an emotional level. It might be just kind of like you just feel good about something. Something suddenly feels good. That sense of frustration is being lifted. That blockage is finally kind of moving, and you can have positive development. A few hours later, the moon will meet Uranus at the moon will meet Uranus at 8:16 a.m. Thursday morning. So Thursday morning is quite an interesting morning, like from Wednesday early night, like Thursday early morning, from like 4 a.m. into 9 a.m. very sensitive hours of. So Thursday, you might wake up on Thursday and suddenly there's positive development, suddenly there's movement, things are feeling like suddenly, wow, hallelujah, things are happening. Could be also shocking for some, okay? So keep in mind, it's Uranus, it's the unexpected, okay? And then Mars is passing, and the next thing I wanted to mention, oh yeah, Sun Mercury. There you go. So Mars conjunct Saturn, Moon conjunct Jupiter and Uranus. This is Thursday early morning, and then if we move it a day after, exactly a day, almost to the minute, no, almost to the hour. Where are you? Too much? There we go. Too much? There we go. Sun conjunct Mercury on Friday, 8:55 a.m. Mercury, the messenger, the mind, the intellect, retrograde, trying to identify what is this about. The Sun just went through a total solar eclipse in Aries on a new moon, initiating something new. And Friday morning, 3 days post the new moon solar eclipse, after Mars has finally passed Saturn, the moon traveled through Jupiter and Uranus to give us the emotional sensation, and now the moon is in Gemini, ruled by Mercury by Friday morning. The moon is trying to process what it feels, what's going on, and Mercury conjunct the Sun on the 22-32 of Aries, which, interesting enough, a very auspicious degree, because it is in a square to 22-32 of Capricorn, where we had a big conjunction in 2020. Wow, this is cool. I didn't pick it up before until now, and this is really cool because this insight, this message, this realization that is coming to us, that something clicks and we get something. This is after the new moon solar eclipse conjunct Chiron in Aries, after Mars was conjunct Saturn. We wanted to get going, we couldn't. Suddenly the new energy kicking in, and suddenly we are realizing something. Something is happening, something clicks, something is understood. A conversation, a realization, a thought, a process, and it's in a square to where Pluto conjunct Saturn in 2021. Let's go there. This is Friday morning, and now I'm going to go years 2020, and we're gonna go to, where are you guys? There you are. Amazing. Freaking amazing. Freaking amazing. Freaking amazing. Freaking amazing. Did I say freaking amazing already? Look at that. Look at that. This is the 12th of January 2020. Look at your 4 o'clock. Mercury, Pluto, Saturn, Sun. Okay, so all on the 22 degrees. Sun will move into the 22 degrees a few hours later. This 22 degree Capricorn is in a square to 22 degree Aries. It's a cardinal square. And so Mercury is meeting the Sun post the new moon solar eclipse conjunct Chiron, that is revealing to us something about how we got wounded and all the wounding we have been dealing and facing since 2020 shit show began. And it's in an exact square friction challenge with the things that happened in January 2020 in the great conjunction of Mercury involved with Pluto and Saturn. What happened in January 2020? Do you remember? In September 2019, the poo has started to spread, but in January, the poo has started to spread into the world. And 2 months later, in March 2020, the lockdowns began. And so something is going, on a collective level, something is going to be exposed, and Jupiter conjunct Uranus, that is going to be shocking, a great revelation, unexpected, with Neptune at the end of Pisces, secrets, lies, the propaganda, manipulation, exposed, Pluto in Aquarius, exposing about the future, about global cooperation, about global government, all these kind of hidden agendas, and the new moon solar eclipse in Chiron bringing something into light, and Mercury. This is very interesting because this Mercury, I will be very interested to see what will be released in the news headlines as we get to the second part of this week especially, but pay attention all this week, and it's already happening, there's so much, but especially on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, into the weekend, next weekend. Pay attention to what comes out, and let's see how it relates to January 2020. On a collective level, relating to the poo, and to everything that started since then. On a personal level, relating to whatever you have started to go through since then. Very interesting. So pay attention. 22 degrees, 45 minutes. If we go back a bit, yeah, it's 22:46. Yeah, 22:46. It was Saturn moved. Yeah, 22:46. There you go. 22:46, and now I'm going back to now, and we're gonna take it back to Friday. This was a very cool pickup we just did together. Yay, amazing. There you go, and here you are. You can see it here on your 6 o'clock. Now I'll take it a few hours back. 22:32 it was. There we go. Oh, too much. Oh, okay. There you go. On your 9 o'clock. Sun Mercury 22:32. And it's a square to that Capricorn, remember. Very interesting. And the Jupiter Uranus coming together. And this is this week for you. That's pretty much it. Was there anything? Yeah. That's it for this week. Okay, so it's a very big week. It's the crescendo we have been waiting for, but remember, it doesn't end on this new moon solar eclipse. It continues into Jupiter Uranus on the 21st of April, and all April is bombastic. So just keep in mind, it's a process. We are on a process, and things kind of going in their own divine way, and trust the process, as we say. Just trust the process. Even if the process stinks and it's not exactly what you want, trust the process. Kimberly, your natal Jupiter is at 22 Aries. Oh my goodness. So you are going to get a massive realization. A conversation, an agreement, a document, information. Don't look for it. It will be in your face. Mercury is our local environment. It's our mind. It's cooking already for you. It's not just going to happen then. It's already cooking. And you can try to see when Mercury was first on 22nd degree of Aries, if something happened on that day for you, and just for the sport of it, just for you. Let's go back. Mercury was on the 22nd degree of Aries on the 24th of March. So try to think on the 24th of March what happened that will be relating to what you're going to process this coming Friday. And it's an insight. And if it's your Jupiter, then it's like it will help you. It's like it will expand your belief system, your value system. Might be a windfall, might be some lucky development, some money coming in, or some new job, or some new project, or new business offer, or simply that you've kind of like realized something that will change your value system and your belief system forever into a much better and higher place. So this is this week, family. I hope everyone had a great time listening to all these things we've just shared together today. And I'm bringing these. Okay. So thank you for the love. Thank you for being here with me. And I'm wishing everyone an awesome, amazing, healing new moon solar eclipse in Aries. Reminding you, please press like on this movie. Help us spread it around. Share it with your friends, with your beloveds, whoever might need benefit from it. Press subscribe to our channel so you could receive notifications whenever we come on live. If you want to support us directly and be a part of our community, amazing community, it's on patreon.com/healingdelight. We have these love streams, we have our chat rooms on Telegram where we share a lot of things every day. What else? Sound healing meditation, new moon solar eclipse, Tuesday morning, 11 a.m., exactly on the morning of the eclipse, 4 hours after the eclipse. And then on Wednesday evening, 7 p.m., integration of the new moon solar eclipse with Mars conjunct Saturn and the moon coming to Jupiter Uranus is going to be very beneficial. Join me. If anyone needs healing sessions, come and see me. I would love to help you. And yeah, other than that, stay positive. Just keep on doing the work, and good things will come. Good things are coming. Lots of love to you all. Thank you so much for your blessings, for your love, Christy. Love you. Love you all. Thank you. And we're going to end with Naman and Groundation. Once again, give us a bit of the cheer up for this energy that we need. Okay. Lots of love to you all, family. Peace, love, joy, happiness.
Gather up the raindrops to fill your cup. A rainbow did promise you a new you. That's what you're going to do. Bring out the new you. That is exactly what you got to do. Leave the past in the past and may the present always be for you until Jan calling you home again, where you will find